are watching this video, you are wanting to go a little bit deeper, and so in this digging deeper, we're going to ask the question about what's the big deal about love. Now, some of you may, when you hear that statement, you think, oh, that's very unromantic of you, Pastor Mark. Well, no, it is a big deal. And that's why the question, what is the big deal about love, is actually not trying to belittle love, but trying to see love for all its worth. We're going to see something quite different from what we normally would experience in any other part of life. Because why? In the Christian faith, love is everything. It's not the temple, it's not the church, it's not the altar, it's not the bread, it's not the wine, it's not the offering, it's love. That's the front and center of what the message of Jesus Christ is. So let's take a look at what Jesus himself has to say in John chapter 13 verses 34 and 35. Here's what he says. A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. So obviously, Jesus is emphasizing that we need to love one another. But let's pause and see the significance of what he's saying. A new command I give you. The Hebrew community has 613 laws, which covers things from morals, religious aspects, as well as even some legal aspects. Laws about land, laws about food, laws about business, laws about morals, of course, and laws about how we should carry ourselves when it comes to approaching God in the temple. But Jesus looked at all these laws and says, you know what? Put that aside first. A new command I give you, love one another. So Jesus is asserting his authority as Lord of the Sabbath, Lord of all lords, King of all kings, Son of God walking on earth. He is therefore decreeing from his authority, love one another. Not only is he decreeing from his authority, he is actually letting us know by example. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. Now, do we then say that Jesus broke and violated all the laws in the Bible in order to display this law called love one another? No. On contrary, he actually displays the fulfillment of all the laws in the Bible, 613 laws. He showed that actually all of these are fulfilled when we love one another. And not only do we see that Jesus is giving to it by authority, giving it by example, but then he is now displaying it by identity. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. You know what that means? The Christian faith is not recognized by the cross as a symbol. It's not recognized by the design of a church. It's not recognized by the style of worship. That's why we get different styles of worship all around the world. But it is the fact that we love one another. Then we are displaying ourselves to be disciples of Jesus. So that's how significant love is in the Christian faith. Nothing to do with formulas and words on what to say during a particular worship style, but the fact that we do that entirely out of our love for God and our love for one another. So, what is the new commandment given by Jesus to his disciples, and what does it mean for us today? Jesus' new command to his disciples and to us today is to love one another. Now, what kind of love would that be? It will be the same kind of love by which Jesus had loved them and us, which is sacrificial, self-giving, which cost him his very life so that through his death we might live. That's the kind of love we're talking about. Then now as the world sees us loving each other with the same kind of love, they will recognize us as being Jesus' disciples. In order for us to display that Jesus' love is real, we have to show that by loving one another. Love is not an item. Love is a verb. It is an action. It is something that we do. And you cannot do love by yourself. You need to show that love to another person. So in loving one another, we are then recognizing the reality of love in the fullest and highest degree, the love that is given by sacrifice, just as Jesus has done for us. So here's a challenge for you, since you are digging deeper. Dig deeper on what you mean, on what you know about love. Ask this question to yourself. As far as you experience, what is love? How can you summarize love by what you have experienced so far? Now take that and compare it to what Jesus has done for us in display on what is love. Compare that and you will certainly see the difference. Compare that and you can certainly see which one is most desirable. Compare that and you'll be able to see what is it that we really need to do, or what we truthfully and correctly should do when we love one another.